Hi, Delaney. Thank you for coming in today and taking the time out to meet with me. Go ahead and sit down, make yourself comfortable. What brings you in today? And tell me a little bit more about your situation.
I just got a new job and I was previously working at a a big corporation, and I had like lots of um people working with me, and now I'm switching into I'm the only employee, and I'm really nervous and anxious about this big transition. I've never worked at a place like this before, so um I'm feeling some anxiety, and I'm just not quite sure that I'm feeling like a lack of confidence that I'm able to do it.
Okay. Sounds like you've got a lot of change happening. And the fact that you're now going to be kind of working solo, is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah. I am going to be working. I have my boss, but it's just me. So it's very different than what I was doing before.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially coming from like a team, a situation to just being solo with your boss.
Mhm.
So how long have you been with the company so far?
I just started last week, so I this will be my second week.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I can totally imagine, you have the new job jitters,
Mhm.
on top of, all these changes that are happening as well. So what are you doing to kind of manage your feelings daily?
Because I don't have those coworkers, it's usually I would have like, talk to, well, maybe not when you first start, but it is, so I normally would have talked to my coworkers, but what I have been doing is I have just been trying to like de-stress through I like to rock climb, and I've been like doing that more often. I've noticed like exercise just to try to like release some of that like anxious energy. And I
That
also like to talk to my friends that I don't work with, but I like to talk to them too about what's going on.
Well, that's going to be really helpful. The fact that you have such a good social network and support system outside of work. So, I think continuing to kind of tap into those resources is going to be really, really helpful. Um, about how many times a week would you say that you're kind of socializing outside of work?
Um, I would say probably about like every other day.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I try not to do it all the time because I do like to be, by myself and kind of just decompress. But I also like to, be with my friends. So I try to do it like every other day.
Okay. Well, um, that's going to be, you know, such a good routine to kind of stick with, moving forward, as
Mhm.
you kind of start getting used to this new routine. So when you say that you're getting like when you start feeling anxious, so in the moment when you're feeling anxious, do you start feeling like that at work or during certain situations? When does this happen?
Yeah, I guess I feel anxious at work, like when I'm like doing new tasks like alone. Sometimes I like can't seek that reassurance from my coworker, so I feel anxious that like, am I doing this right? And then I have been trying to like reach out to my boss to like ask questions, which also makes me nervous because they're my boss. So that makes me nervous, but it's mostly at work. When I'm away from work, I can usually like turn it off. Sometimes I get anxious like before I have to go. But I'm also excited about this new position. So yeah.
Well, that's good. I think trying to focus on the being excited part of, the anxiety, because sometimes, anxiety could be um, screwed as being a negative thing. And that's not always true. Sometimes there's a mixture of feelings, within that anxiety and excitement, and just kind of the unknowingness of starting a new job is mixed in with that. And so being okay with, kind of not knowing is hard, but it sounds like overall, you're doing a really good job, managing all these changes. So I think, also just kind of acknowledging that too, more often, during the day is important. It will be really helpful when you start kind of feeling negatively about situations, with your boss in particular.
Mhm. That's helpful to think about that because I do feel like I get overwhelmed, and I can be like self-critical a lot, and I kind of makes me more anxious and I can spiral. So that's like helpful to like kind of relax and like understand that.
So, yeah, I think, just kind of not, like you said, spiraling and staying, in the place where you're feeling unsure, but just knowing that, okay, being unsure is, natural, and change is going to happen, but, you've uh, come this far and you've been able to manage it. And there's so many other more opportunities
Mhm.
to grow, as the position continues to evolve as well. So I think too, just kind of learning to get used to those uncomfortable feelings, and embracing it in a way. Um, and so, what type of um, daily like strategies you think could be like helpful to just kind of like keep that in mind, because um, a- one of the things that are really popular is just kind of like, taking the time out to like uh, think about gratitude and being grateful,
Mhm.
so that could be helpful.
Yeah, that seems helpful. Yeah, I think that I could do a better job of that too, of like, taking that time to like settle down and reflect. And I think that would also give me like perspective of like you said that this new job change, I think it's like easy for me to like think about all the new responsibilities that I have with this job, compared to my last one, and be overwhelmed by that, but that also understanding the flip side of that it's like this great opportunity and that like I have a lot to be grateful for, and I have a lot that I am good at in this job as well. And so that I think if I took that time to write down and like just reflect and like journal, which is something that I do sometimes, but I think that I could do a better job of that. And I think that would help me to have a better like understanding and clarity.
Yeah. I love the idea of a journal, actually seeing it,
Mhm.
physically written down and being able to go back to that is a really powerful thing to have.
Mhm.
So, and routine to, create, and try to incorporate it in a practice, a daily practice. So, yeah, I think that's going to be, a great place to start, moving forward. And so, do you have any questions for me or thoughts?
Um, I guess, I mean, what you said, I think was really helpful about like reframing that. I think that I could use that just like as a reminder. And I feel better about it too, about just like taking the time away and not be so like anxious about it. Like being anxious and feeling those feelings, but yeah, I'm excited to like, you know, continue to work through this with you, like in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I have work to do on that.
Yeah, and just being okay about, being excited about things,
Mhm.
I think it's going to be key, So thank you again,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
talk to you soon.
Okay.